We're about to walk through a thought experiment, one that comes directly from the laws of physics. And it's an idea so powerful, it ends up questioning the very foundation of your own existence.
Just think about this moment. Right now, you're watching this, you're hearing my voice, the space around you, the feeling of where you're sitting, it all feels completely 100% real. There's no reason to doubt it.
And it's not just the present moment. You remember what you did earlier today? You have a whole lifetime of memories, people you love, places you've been. That history is who you are, and that too feels absolutely real.
Now, that might sound like just a philosophical question, but it's not. It's actually a strange and unsettling conclusion that emerges from what we currently understand about the universe. To see how we get there, we have to start with the basic rules of how everything works.
You see, when you get down to the most fundamental level, the universe is really a game of randomness and chance. Everything is just constantly moving. Particles are always jiggling around, and energy levels are always shifting up and down without any real pattern. Imagine you have a box of sand, and you just shake it forever, for trillions and trillions of years. Eventually, just by pure random chance, those grains of sand could arrange themselves into a perfect, detailed castle. It's incredibly unlikely, of course, but it's not impossible.
And this idea goes way back to the physicist Ludwig Boltzmann. He was the one who first suggested that maybe our entire universe, with all of its beautiful structure, all the galaxies and stars, is just one of those sandcastles, a rare, temporary moment of order that just happened to pop up in an eternity of chaos.
So, modern physicists took that idea and asked a very simple question. If the universe is like a giant cosmic lottery, what's more likely to form by chance? An entire universe, or something much, much smaller?
And that question leads us directly to this concept, the Boltzmann Brain. It's the idea that a single conscious mind could, in theory, just fluctuate into existence out of pure randomness. It would exist for just a moment and then dissolve right back into the chaos.
Now, what's really important here is what it would be like from the inside. This brain wouldn't have any idea that it was just a random fluke. It would be completely self-aware. It would have a full set of detailed memories of a life it never lived, friends it never had, all of it formed in the exact same instance as the brain itself. It would believe with absolute certainty that it was real.
And this is where the logic takes a very sharp and very unsettling turn, because it all just comes down to a simple question of statistics.
So think about it. Which of these is statistically more likely? Creating a whole ordered universe with trillions of stars and planets, where observers like us can evolve over billions of years, or creating just one single conscious brain that thinks it lives in a universe? The amount of energy and order required to make a single brain is just astronomically smaller, so statistically, it's an exponentially more probable event.
This isn't just some abstract puzzle. If the math holds up, it has a very direct, very personal implication for every single conscious being, and that includes you.
Because over the vast, almost infinite lifespan of the universe, the number of these easy-to-form single brains should just completely dwarf the number of hard-to-form real observers who actually evolved inside a real universe.
And here's the unavoidable consequence of that. If the universe is filled with trillions upon trillions of these false observers for every single real one, then the odds that you happen to be one of the real ones become almost impossibly small.
Statistically, the version of you with a real past, with real memories, that version probably shouldn't exist.
Okay, it is absolutely crucial to understand this next part. Scientists do not believe this is true. Instead, they see it as a huge red flag, a paradox that tells us there's a deep flaw somewhere in our understanding of the universe.
So, the point of all this isn't to convince you that you aren't real. The point is, if our best, most elegant models of the cosmos lead us to this absurd conclusion, then something about the models themselves has to be wrong.
And that's why cosmologists take it so seriously. You see, any theory that predicts its own observers are almost certainly delusional, that theory has a fundamental problem. It basically undermines itself. If you can't trust the observer, you can't trust the science. It's a clear signal that we are missing a major piece of the cosmic puzzle.
And so the scientific community is actively trying to solve it. People are working on new models. Maybe the universe doesn't last forever, which would limit the time for these random brains to form. Or maybe our whole understanding of entropy,
the tendency toward disorder, isn't quite right when you scale it up to the entire cosmos.
This really captures the whole spirit of it. The paradox is a tool. It's a way of stress testing our theories. It forces scientists to choose. Either our theories about an eternal, fluctuating universe are wrong, or our own reality is an illusion. And for a physicist, the choice is obvious. The models have to be fixed.
And yet, until those models are fixed, the cold, unsettling logic remains. If a random, false observer is astronomically more probable than a real one, how can you, or I, or anyone be certain which one we are?